What's up, everybody? So we're gonna run a little experiment here. I'm gonna grab 4 logs. We're gonna take a look at how belt layout can really affect the division of logs. So right here, I have 3 belts coming out of this system, and basically this first belt is dividing by 3, right? 1 left, 1 middle, 1 right, versus this, where it's doing a 50% division, 1 front, 1 right, and then it's doing another 50% division, 1 forward, 1 right, and then basically that's just a straight belt. So in this case, I would expect 50% of our logs to go on this belt, and then basically 25% and 25%. And then same idea down here, where this one is kind of that usual pattern. A lot of us do this when we're building, where we'll basically have 50% division here, so 50% of the logs go on that first belt, and then you get over here and it splits off, so 25% of the logs go there, and then, oh, guess what? There's 25 left here, but then it splits again, so now you have 12.5% there and 12.5% there, versus this, that is really 50, 50, 50, so it evenly divides it, right? This first one is 50 left, 50 right, now you have 50% here. Oh, it divides evenly in half, 25, 25. So this will be a nice visual way for us to take a look. So I'm going to turn this way so we can't really see the results. And let's put down a log on each of these, and we'll let these process. So we'll just look at it here. I have a wide screen. It's a little bit of a fisheye, but I think you'll get an idea if you start to watch it. And then once these logs finish processing, you know, I'll speed this up in post-production, but once these finish processing, we'll take a look at the results. Well, as we can tell, even after extending it, the ones that don't have proper division, you have 1 belt backing up because it's getting 50% of your production versus the others. So why does this matter, right? If we come look at the results. So this is our 4-way division. This first belt is getting 50%. This one is getting 25, 12.5, 12.5. So you'll see each one is roughly half the size of the other. So if I come all the way down to the end, it's very minute, but it matters when you're basically trying to get stuff to work perfectly, right? If you have 4 grinders, these are not getting the same amount of product. Theoretically, yes, this one is backing up, so it's pushing stuff onto this belt, pushing stuff onto these 2 belts, but you still may not be perfectly balanced, right? Because you're waiting on one to get backed up, so these 2 are not going to quite run at full production. Kind of same thing, right? Versus this, where you're actually doing a proper division. Divide by 50, divide by 50, divide by 50. Each of these is really just a very simple division when you're doing this type of a belt structure. So in this case, this one, I think these are off slightly because I was messing with the belts, but generally these are pretty much dead even. So I think I accidentally took 1 or 2 off when I was trying to extend the belts for this video. This here, right, yep, so we've processed all the logs now. This one's pretty much even, right? We're off by 1 just because there's 200 logs. 200 logs doesn't divide evenly by 3. But other than that, these are dead even as far as how they come out. Because again, if you do it like this, this is a divide by 3. So each of these belts gets 33% of the output. Again, this is a divide by 5 or 50%, you know, divide in half, divide, oh, sorry, there's no division there. So this will get 50%, and then these two will divide the next 50%. So that's 25 each. So generally those two are half the length, but I think this belt backed up a little bit sooner. And yeah, if we look at the video I was talking about, that was backed up already. So then extra came over here. But same thing, right? It's not going to run quite exactly even. Maybe your grinder is backed up a little bit. This doesn't have to be planks. This applies to anything you're putting on a belt. So if you're dividing it like this, it's not going to be even. I do the same thing all the time. So the big thing here is if you're really trying to get very, very balanced production, you can see if you're able to basically do this where you need to divide by 3, try to do it at the very beginning. Or if you're really trying to do a divide by 2, this is pretty big. You can shrink this down quite a bit. There's a lot of different ways to divide by 2. So you could really divide by 2 like this, and that would get you a divide by 2. And then these two belts, you know, could be even like this. So there's a lot of different ways to clean this up, right? So that gets you basically 4 belts right next to each other, or pretty close. So that gets you 4 belts if you did it this way. You know, that cleans it up quite a bit, so you have 4 belts that are nice and even. So that's one way to basically, this will do the same result, right? You divide by 5, divide in half, divide in half, divide in half. So each of these belts will get 25%. Again, versus doing it like this. So just simply by putting this in the middle, and then, you know, you could also move this up 1, and it'll give you a little bit more room to potentially, you know, get these to be in line, or to get rid of this gap in the middle. You could have these belts come back over. Welcome to my short tech talk on belts.